Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss some other topic. Um, so that is nothing but game theory. Is a very important and at the same time, this is somewhat easy topic provided you understand very clearly. So this is many practical problems require decision making in a competitive situation where there are two or more opposite parties. Um, where there are two or more opposite parties with conflicting interest, where the action of one depends upon the one taken by the opponent. So generally, a game exists between minimum two persons and maximum number, maximum maybe so many people. So the competitive situations will be called as game, which has the following properties. So there are finite number of competitors like players. Each player has to finite number of strategies available to them. So a play of the game takes place in each player employs his strategy. Every game results in an outcomes. So these are the situations. Competitive situations will be called as game. So a competitive situation between two parties is going to be called as game, and it is going to be have the following properties. There are finite number of competitors like players. Finite number of, if you take up badminton, it will consist of two players. If you take up cricket, it will consist of 11 players. So 11 plus 11, like that, 22 players. And each player has a finite number of strategies available to him. So depends on the situation, every player will have so many strategies. A play of the game takes place in each player employs his strategy. A play of the game takes place in each play, the employs strategy. There is a wording is something is wrong. Five, every game results in an outcome. So every game results in an outcome means gain of one is going to be called as lose of the others. Gain of one person or gain of one party is automatically going to be the loss of the other people. A zero sum game, when there are two competitors playing the game, is called two-person game. You are playing cards, you are playing a table tennis, you are playing a ball badminton. So in which two players, one on the other and one on the reverse side. That is a zero sum game, what we are going to call it as. And there are two competitors, or else it is going to be called as two-person game. So winning of one person, it automatically losing of the other person. Winning of the other person is going to be automatically the losing of the other person. So solve the following game by minimax principle method, dominance method. So this is B1, B2, B3 are the player B's strategies. A1, A2, A3 are strategies of A, and here to the minimum number of each row, to the minimum number, put plus to maximum of each column. So minimum number means small v, and next largest column is nothing but 7th is the largest, hence it is marked with plus. Next, identify the element where both symbols meet. So the optimal strategy for player A is A2, where both these things are measures. So in this, in the first row, 1 is the minimum. In the second row, 4th is the minimum. In the third row, 0 is the minimum. In the vertical column, 7 is the maximum. Vertical column, 7 is the maximum plus. And this vertical column, 4th is the maximum, hence plus also symbol also. Row wise, it is the lowest. Column wise, it is the highest. And again, third column wise, 5 is the maximum. So the optimal strategy for player A2 is A2 and player B is B3. So A2 and B3, where both signs are meeting each other. And the value of the game is nothing but 4. Value of the game is nothing but 4. So that is going to be called as like that. One has to identify mini max and max mini principle. So it is nothing but row minimum and column maximum. Row minimum and column maximum. So this is row minimum. Mini means row minimum. Maximum is column maximum. So in the column, this is the maximum. In the column, this is the maximum. In the column, 4th is the maximum. And the column, 5th is the maximum. So row minimum, 1 is the row minimum, and 4th is the row minimum in this case. And in this case, 7th is the maximum, and whereas 0 is the minimum. Where the max mini meets, it is going to be called as the max mini principle. So 4th is going to be satisfying the max mini principle. So therefore, the optimal strategy for player A is A2, row A2, and column B3 is B3. For B is nothing but B3. Row, second row, third column is going to be the optimum strategy of the particular game. Next, dominance principle. Here, same thing. Same problem is repeated here. So, dominance principle. Row comparison inferiors, column comparison inferiors. Row comparison. So, the elements of the second column are superior to the corresponding elements in the third column. So, you have to compare the first column elements with second column elements, second column elements with third column elements, like that, which are greater, which are lesser, like that. So row comparison inferiors, column comparison superiors. Column comparison, if you take the elements of the second column are superior to corresponding elements of the third column. So delete second column. This second column. So nothing but here, you need not be confused. The elements of the second column, this is second column, 3, 4, are inferior to, actually they're not superior, inferior to this particular third column. Corresponding elements of third column, so delete second column, because this particular third column is dominating the second column. third column is dominating the second column. If you compare the first column and third column, so 4 is dominating 1, 5 is not dominating 5, similar, whereas 3 is inferior to 7. So first column, if you compare this, first column is not dominating the third column is not dominating the first column. Again, if you go to the comparison of the second column and third column, and 3 is less than 4, 4 is less than 5, 0 is less than 3, and column 3 is dominating. Column 3 is dominating the column 2. So therefore, the column 2 has to be removed. Column 2 has to be removed. So delete the column automatically. And if you delete the column, the elements of first row, here the elements of first row are inferior to the corresponding elements of the second rows. The elements of the first row are inferior to the second row. So second row, therefore, the first row is going to be eliminated. First row is going to be eliminated. First row is going to be eliminated. You are left with 5, 7, 4, 0, 5, 3. 5, 3. Now, if you take up here, B1 is superior to B3. B1 is superior to B3. Therefore, B1 has to be deleted, which is superior, which has to be deleted. With column wise, that superior column has to be deleted. So actually, this column has to be deleted. First row operation has to be carried out. Later column operation has to be carried out. So here, column B4 is dominating column B3. Here, column 2 is dominating column 1. Sorry, row A2 is dominating. Second row is dominating the first row. Therefore, and the first row has to be deleted, which is inferior. That row has to be deleted. And whereas second row is there, third row is there automatically. And if you check up column wise, now this is 5, 7 and 5, 3 are there. 5, 7 and 5, 3 are there. If you compare 5, 7 and 5, 7 is dominating and 5, 3. Therefore, which the column which is dominating will go out. Whereas row wise, the majority column, majority row will stay. Whereas inferior row will go out. That is the difference. So this is 1, 3, 4 elements. The elements in first row are lesser than elements in second row. So the elements in first row compared to third row, again 0 is inferior. So therefore, again 3 is also inferior. You cannot do. So when you compare the first row and second row, first row is inferior and the row which is inferior will go out. Whereas in column wise, if you take up the column which is dominating will go out automatically. 5, 7 is dominating 5, 3. 5, 7 is dominating 5, 3. And therefore, this 5, 7 will go out and 4, 0 and 5, 3 are left. 4, 0 and 5, 3 are left. Again, if you check up this A3 row wise, A3 row A3 is inferior. So when you compare, 0 is less than 4, 3 is less than 4. Row wise, column wise, row wise, column wise, like that you have to come up. So therefore 0, 3 will go out automatically. Finally, you are left with 4, 5. And 4, 5, finally 5 is dominating 4, 5 will go out automatically. 4 is left out. 4 is left out. The optimal strategy for player A is A2 and B is B3. The value of the game is 4. The value of the game is 4. Here is also, it is nothing but the value of the game is 4 also in this particular case. Both the methods, that is minimax principle and dominance principle method. Dominance principle method, whatever the method you take, it is going to be satisfied. So like that, you have to understand the particular thing, dominance principle as well as. So row wise, which is inferior, that has to be removed. Column wise, which is superior, that has to be removed when you compare. So you have to compare with all. So first of all, in this particular case, if you take up row comparison inferiors, column comparison superiors. Row comparison superiors, column comparison superiors. So row comparison superiors. So the first row, second row, third row. So if you compare first row and third row, second row is superior than this first row. Therefore, or else first row is inferior to the second row. But first row is not inferior to the third row. Third row, you cannot compare with the third row. In third row, 0 is lesser. Whereas if you take up this 5 and 1, 1 is inferior, 4 and 3, third is inferior, and 4 and 5, 4 is inferior. The inferior row will go out automatically. 5, 7, 4, 0, 5, 3 are left. Again, go for the column wise. 5, 7 is dominating 4, 0, are dominating 5, 3. So, and these are the larger elements compared to other things. And 4, this is dominating. 5 is dominating 4, and 7 is also dominating, and column wise, therefore, column will go out automatically. 4, 0 and 5, 3. Now again, if you take up the column is over, if you come down to row again, 4, 5 and 0, 3. 0, 3 are smaller elements, 4, 5 are greater elements. So inferior row will go out. Inferior row will go out, and dominant column will go out here. While taking up the column, dominant column will go out, and while taking up the row, inferior row will go out. 0, 3 has gone out, and you are left with 4, 5. And this is row. Now you take up the operation of column, and column is the dominating column. 5 is more than 4. Therefore, finally 4 is left. So the optimum value of the game is nothing but 4. And solve the following game on each other is one more thing. This is very important. Simple to understand, and simple, you can solve it with the minimum basic common sense. Solve the following game on each other. And minimax principle. The given game does not possess the saddle point. Given game does not possess the saddle point means, so first of all, you take up the first row. In the first row, 0 is minimum. In the second row, 2 is minimum. That's why marked with V. In the third row, 0 is minimum. In the fourth row, again 0 is minimum here, 0 is minimum here. If you take up the column, fourth is maximum, hence plus is marked. In the vertical column, there are 2 4s are there, positive, and positive has marked 2 dominant values. Again here also plus 4, 4 and 4, 2 positive values. So maximum values marked with plus. Again here only one maximum value column wise, 8 is marked. So the given game does not possess the saddle point. Saddle point means where minimax and max mini join together. Minimum of the row, maximum of the column. Minimum of the row, maximum of the column, they are not meeting. In the previous case, it is nothing but, here you see, and minimum and maximum. Row wise minimum, column wise maximum, it is matching here. And 4 is the optimal solution, what we have marked in the particular case. Whereas in this particular case, and the mini-max or max-mini. So mini-max means minimum of the rows, and max means maximum of the columns. They are not matching. Hence, the given game does not possess the saddle point. So where mini-maxes are matching to a particular point, that is going to be called the saddle point. Then we unmark second row, third column, second row, second column. Like that, we have to mark out. Here, Max, mini max are not matching, hence we have not shown anything. Simply you have to write down, does not have the. Next, dominance principle, second method. So in the dominance principle, first of all, you check up the rows 3240, 3424, 0240, and 0404. And which row is dominating which one, like that. So the elements of A1 row, the elements of A1 row, this is A1 row 3240 are inferior to the corresponding elements of A3. A3 means 4240. 4240. So 3 is less than 4, 2 is less than or 2 just less than or equal to, and 4 is less than or equal to, 0 is less than or equal to. So therefore 3240 are inferior to 4240. So at least one element is dominating, and 4 is greater than 3, 2 is equal to 2, 4 is equal to 4, 0 is equal to 0. Only one element is dominating. So therefore automatically 3240 is less than or equal to the and 4240. Therefore we can mark it as this row 1 can be deleted automatically, because 3240 the row 1 is inferior, hence delete the row 1, that is A1. And now you are left with this is 340, 340, 424, 240, and 408. You are left with. Now we have to check up the columns. So columns, now this B1 column is superior to B3 column. So 3 is greater than 2, 4 is greater than or equal to 4, 0. So here also one element is dominating. So if you take up 4240 and 240, 4 is greater than, but 2 is inferior, and 4 is greater than. You cannot compare second and third. And if you take up third and fourth, 2 is lesser, and 4 is greater, and 8 is greater. You cannot compare this third and fourth. And if you take up fourth and 1, 3 is inferior, it's not dominating. 4 is dominating, but 0 is not dominating. 4. 8 is dominating 0. 8 is dominating 0, and 4 is dominating 3, but 0 is dominating. Hence, you cannot compare the fourth column and first column. So you cannot compare the first column and second column. And 4 is dominating 3, 2 is not dominating 4. So therefore, the comparison cannot exist between 1 and 2, 2 and 3. So therefore, 2 and 3 means again, 4 is dominating 2, but 2 is not dominating 4. 4 is dominating 0. Like that, you have to select the various combinations, identify which column is dominating which column. And this B1 column, 3 is dominating 2, 4 is dominating 4, are equal to at least 0 is equal to 0. Only one element is dominating. Column 1 is dominating column 3. Therefore, column 1 will go out automatically. The column which is dominating will go out automatically. You are left with 2, 3, 4. So here 2, 3, 4 columns are there. Second column, third column, and fourth column are left with. So 424, 240, and 408 are left with. Now you take up the rows. 424, you take up 424, 424, and 240. 4 is dominating 2, 2 is dominating, 2 is not dominating, 4 is dominating. So like that, so again 4 and 4, 2 and 0, 4 and 8, and these are also not matching. The average of A3 and A4, the average of A3 and A4, A3 and A4 rows, that is 2 plus 4 and 4 plus 0, 0 plus 8, are inferior to the corresponding elements of the all. Corresponding elements of the all. Sometimes if you match also, they are not dominating. So therefore, so delete row and see this. The average of A3 and A4, average of A3 and A4, 2 plus 4 divided by 2, that is nothing but 3, 2 and 4. So 3 to 4 are inferior to 4 to 4. 3, 4 to 4, 3 to 4. So therefore, this 3 and 4 completely will go out. 3 and 4. So this is 3, 2, 4 are nothing but the average values of these things. So why we have done like this? Because no row is dominating or no row is inferior. Hence, finally, we are able to conclude that third row and fourth row are to be added, or to be average is nothing but 3, 2, 4, and therefore 3 to 4 is lesser than 4 to 4, and 3 to 4 nothing but the low or row which is not dominating, inferior, is will go out automatically. Finally, you are left with 4 to 4. This is 4 to 4. 4 to 4 row is left. So in this 4 to 4, again you compare this particular thing. Second is dominating, third one, automatically second row will go out automatically. Second row will go out automatically, and third and fourth are there. Third and fourth again, and fourth is dominating the third row, and fourth will go out. Finally, you are left with third. So finally, that is nothing but the optimal strategy of the player A is A2, B3. The value is nothing but 2. So this is the way one has to solve. So the average was taken 3 to 4. Therefore, 2 rows have gone out completely. Finally, you are left with this particular row. Second row. In the second row, fourth is dominating 2, and column, because this is this is because the column. First, second column is dominating the third column. This column will go out. If you compare this and fourth column, and fourth is dominating, fourth column will go out. You are left with the third column. So you are left with the third column, that is nothing but 3. Like that, you have to solve the particular problems. So games without saddle point. Games without saddle point. So I hope that with these two examples, you have understood the dominance principle or minimax principle. Minimax principle means row minimum, column maximum. Where row minimum and column maximum together match at one point, so then that is going to be called the optimal strategy of the players. So in this particular thing, again, this is also dominance principle, what we are going to call it as. In the dominance principle, one row will dominate the other row, and the row which is inferior, that has to be removed. Whereas if you consider the column, one column will dominate another column. The column which dominating the other columns are to be removed out. So like that, first of all, row wise it has to be carried out, rows are to be eliminated. Next, column wise it has to be carried out, column has to be removed out. Again, row has to be considered, and row has to be, one row has to be removed, deleted. Again, after that, column has to be removed. Like that, row column has to be carried out. So finally, you have to arrive at a solution, which is nothing but the optimal strategy. So games without saddle point. Games without saddle point. Point to remember, if the row and column are not equal, if the row and column are not equal, make it equal by reducing one, either row or column. And the values of P1, P2 and Q1, Q2 should not be negative. If so, its value will be considered as 0. To determine the optimal strategy of both players by reducing the given matrix, example 2 into 3, 2 into 2. Next, if the player A is playing with less number of strategies than B, then choose max mini principle. If the player is planning with more than number of strategies than B, then choose mini max principle. The optimal point, max mini point, is uh, marked with P intersected by B1 and B2. So these are the points that are to be considered if the row and column are not equal. Row and column means, so 4 rows and 4 columns are to be made. Row and column are not made equal by reducing one either row or column. The value of P1, P2, Q1, Q2 should not be negative. So P1, P2, Q1, Q2. P1 means 1 minus P2, Q1 means 1 minus Q2. Like that, you have to find out P1, P2, Q1, Q2. So they should not be negative. If so, the values will be considered as 0. So always P1, P2, Q1, Q2 must be positive. There should not be negative values. To determine the optimal strategy of both the players by reducing the given matrix. To determine the optimal strategy of both players by reducing the given matrix. Example 2 into 3, 2 into 2. So the optimal strategy is to arrive at an optimal strategy. You have to reduce the matrix. If it is a not. Next, if the player A is playing with less number of strategies than B, then choose minimax principle. Minimax principle. If the player is playing with more than the strategies of B, then choose minimax principle as much. It is, sorry, that is max mini, this is minimax. If player A is playing with less number of strategies than B, if player A is playing with less number of strategies, then max mini principle. If player E is playing more number of strategies, minimax principle is very important. So that is very important. To the optimal point, max mini point is going to be called as the saddle point, what we are going to call it as saddle point. Here, solve the game whose payoff matrix is. Solve the game he has given A1, A2, A3, B3, 4 strategies, B1, B2, B3, 4 strategies. So these are the particular things. Solution from the above matrix. So from the above matrix, A1 is inferior to A3 and so delete A1. A1 is inferior, 32440 is inferior to A3. So 4240, 4240. So this is 3240. 3240 is less than or at least equal. So 3 is less than 4, 2 is equal to 2, 4 is equal to 4, 0 is equal to 0. So either they must be equal or less than. So A1 will go out completely. So delete A1. The row wise inferior row has to be identified and automatically the inferior row must be deleted. Whereas if you consider columns, dominant column, which is dominating other columns, that has to be removed. The column which is dominating others is to be removed. Next, the revised matrix is, this is nothing but 340, 424, 240, 408, it was mentioned. So here B1 is superior to B2. B1 is superior to B2. B1 is superior to B2. So B1 3 is not superior. 3, 4. Sorry, B1 is superior to B2, so delete B1 is wrong something. B2 has to be removed. So 4 is dominating 3 and 3 is 2 is not dominating, 4 is not dominating. Here 340. So here B1 is dominating B3. B1 is superior to B3. B1 is superior to B3. There is something wrong here. B1 is superior to B3. So 3 is superior to 2. 4 is less than or equal to 4. And 0 is less than or equal to 0. Therefore, first column will be removed automatically. because this is dominating. B2, B3, B4, all things will be there. B2, B3, B4 will be there. B2, B3. Next, if you go for column, column is over and you have to go for row wise. And if you go for row wise, here B2 column is superior, he has marked. Again, column is should not column, it should be row something. This problem is something wrong. And if you take up the 424 and 240 and 408, 408 is not superior to anything. 240 is not superior. 424 is not superior. So therefore, row wise it is not mixing. So the previously A3, row A3, row A4, they were added and average was calculated, and therefore 3, 4, 2, 40 and 8. This is 4 is coming, 2 is coming, and 3 is coming, and therefore the first row is dominating. Like that we have done. Here, contrary to that, again column wise it has calculated. B2 column is superior to 424 is superior to average of B3 and B columns, B3 and P4 vertically. So delete B2 has given. Vertically, here he has to, one has to take up row wise only, not column wise. This is wrong. So go to the previous column. Like that, you will come across the particular thing. Why he has gone. Now this, if you take up this B3 and B4 average, 2, 4, 3 it is coming, 40 means 2 is coming, again 4 is coming. So B2 is dominating and B3, B4 are left. B3, B4 are left. Again B3, B4 and he has gone for row again. And row means this is inferior row. What is the inferior row? There is no inferior row in this particular thing. B3, B4. A2 is inferior to the average of A3. A2 is inferior to average of this A3 and A4. So 4 means 2. Here it is also 4. So 2 and 4 are getting. And 40 average is nothing but 2. Here nothing but 4. So 2 and 4 they are coming. 2 and 4 here, 2 and 4 here. So 2 and 4, one row will go out automatically. 2, 4 and 2, 4 it is coming. A2 is inferior to the average of A3 and A4. 2 is coming, 4 is coming. So there will not be any inferiority in this particular thing. Inferiority. So we cannot say anything on this particular. Further, the game has no saddle point. No saddle point means so max, mini, max, they are not meeting together. So like that, the things are arrived here. The game has no saddle point. A3, A4, B3, B4, A11, A12, A21, A22. Let the players here choose their strategies. P1, P2 are these particular things. P1 is equal to this is the formula. Therefore, Q1 is equal to this is the formula. So here means you are left with first 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2 like this. So this P1 is equal to A22. This is A22. A22 minus A21 divided by A11. A11 plus A22 minus A12 plus A21 like that. Q1 is equal to A22. Q1 is equal to A22 and minus A12. This is A12 divided by A11. The denominator the same in the particular case. Value of the game is A11 into A22. One has to remember the particular things. A11, finally you are left with the particular 4 elements. So P1 is equal to the value A22 minus A21. A22 minus A21 divided by A11 plus A22 minus of A12 plus A21. So this is 80, 8 minus 0 divided by 4 plus 8, 0 minus 0, 0. 8 by 12, finally 0.67. P12 plus P2 is equal to 1. And if you substitute P1 is equal to 0.67, automatically P2 is equal to, you are going to get 1 minus 0.67, 0.333. Q1 is equal to, and Q1 is equal to nothing but A22 minus A12 divided by A22 minus A12 means A22 minus A12 divided by denominator is same. 8 minus 0 divided by 4 plus again 8 by 12, it is nothing but 0.67. Q2 is equal to 0.33. Value of the game is, you substitute the values. A11 into A22 minus A12 into A21 divided by A11 plus A22 minus A12 plus A21. So this is the way, and this is the value of the game is nothing but 83.2.67. And optimal strategy for player A is Q1, Q2, P1, P2. So this is 0, 0, P1, P2. And optimal strategy of player B is 0, 0, Q1, Q2. So Q1, Q2 means 0.67, 0.33, is equal to 0.67, 0.33. Like that value, these are the things are to be calculated. For that, you have to find out this P1 and P2. You have to remember the formulas. All these formulas are very important. For this, there is a good book that is nothing but the Kalavati. Kalavati is their optimum, that is operation research by Kalavati. Here you can find out there is one more problem. Solve the game whose payoff matrix is B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, 1, 3, minus 1, 4, minus 1, 4, 2, minus 5, A2. So if you take up A1, A2, B1, B2, all these things, which column is dominating which one? All superior columns are deleted by comparing to the corresponding elements in the revised matrix. So 1, 3 and 5, 0. So 1, 3, 3, 5. 3, 5 is dominating this one. And minus 1, 6. Minus 1. So it's less than this particular thing. So this 4, 1 is 3, 5 is superior to anybody. 1 by 1 you have to carry out. So 3, 5 automatically will be removed. Next thing is again minus 1, 6. It will compare. So minus 1 is greater than minus 5. So 1, 6 will go out automatically. 0 is greater than 6. Therefore, column B3 will also go out. 4, 1 if you take up. 4, 1 if you take up, and 4, 1 is not dominant. 4, 1 is compared to this 1 and minus 3. So 1 is greater than minus 3. 4 is greater than 1. So the 4, 1 will also go out automatically. 2 and 2. 2 is greater than 1. 2 is also greater than minus 3. And this vertical column, this will also go out. Like that, B2, B3, B4, B5 columns will go out. Finally, you are left with B1 and B6. You are left with B1 and B6. 1, minus 3, minus 5, 0. So this is A11. This is A12. This is A21. And this is A22. A22, you have to write down here clearly. A11 is how much? 1. A11 is how much means 1. A12 is nothing but minus 5. A21 is nothing but minus 3. A22 is equal to 0. You substitute all the values. So P1 is equal to A22. A22 means 0. Minus A21 means minus of minus 3. It is plus 3 divided by all these things are to be marked clearly. and a value of the vector. So like that, if you put all the values, you are going to get P1, and automatically P2 is equal to 1 minus P1, P2 is equal to 1 minus 0.38, 0.67, and Q1 is equal to similarly 5 by 9, 0.44, and Q2 is equal to 1 minus 0.56 is nothing but 0.4. Value of the game is equal to, and A11, all these things. And the value of the game means same formula, you have to keep it. In that particular formula, what is A11, A22, A12, A21, A11, all the values you substitute automatically, you will get the value of the game. So like that, the values are coming here. And after that, so this is, here you are given 1335 minus 16, all these things. And generally, all those things are to be marked in the graph. In the particular graph, this is another graph, this is another graph. Depends on the given values, you have to mark and show the particular thing automatically. They will meet at a particular point. This is a big chapter regarding these particular things. We'll deal all these particular things in the next class. So one has to be remember that this P1, how to remember P1, that is very important. Q1 you have to remember when you are solving certain problems from this particular chapter, that is Kalavati. You take up the Kalavati book is there, operation research by Kalavati. You will find out so many problems. Similarly, there is another book, Paneerselvam. If you take up Paneerselvam and Kalavati, you will have a greater grip on the particular subject. Unless you go to the particular books, textbooks, is very difficult to understand the particular subject. I request all of you to go through this particular two textbooks, Kalavati, another one is Kalavati, and the another one is nothing but the Paneerselvam, Operation Research by Paneerselvam, and Operation Research by Kalavati. And the lateral entry people, they might have certain idea on this particular Kalavati book. It is actually diploma-oriented book. But for understanding of the BTech students also, yes, recently the book was revised, and it's very, very, very good to understand this subject. And so many problems are solved in an easy manner. And therefore, I request all this particular students of third year mechanical engineering to have a copy of Kalavati. You get it from either from library or at least get it through online shopping. If you go to Flipkart, you can find out both the textbooks. You can purchase them on your own and get prepared for the particular thing. So this is all about this particular game theory and max mini principle, and dominance principle, max mini principle, dominance principle, and finally there is one more important last topic is nothing but drawing of the graphs. So that is very, very important, and you can understand it very well. So this is the way today I'm winding at this particular topic. So finally, I'm ending the particular. Okay. Thank you, one and all. We'll meet tomorrow.